Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 207. So wow, does being sick suck? So just a little warning. I went to Chicago last week, had an incredible meeting, really great time. It was cool hanging out with Coach. If you missed his speech, guys, I will link to it down below. It's last vlog. We had a great meeting. It was very productive. I feel like we're starting to get the hang of these meetings a little bit better. Just for your information and your knowledge, when you start having a larger group or larger amount of people that you need to communicate and coordinate as your company grows in the future or now, getting people together and having a good, solid agenda and flow is incredibly important for these meetings to be productive. And so Kelly does a great job coordinating and structuring and making sure that the right people are there. This meeting, day one of the meeting, it's pretty much like super high level stuff. It's me, Kelly, Rob, and then we have two sort of advisors that help us and have helped us along the journey. And they were there, and they're just there sort of to sit in, to give feedback, because a lot of times as a business, you're so close to the fire that it's tough, when you hear some of these things to really decipher it. And the two gentlemen that were at the meeting that are our advisors, that are on our board, they are just so wicked smart, and actually wicked smart, exactly. What's up, Boston? Anyway, they're wicked smart, and they look at things differently, and that's one of the beautiful things about having other people around you helping you with your business and just being advisors, because a lot of times, like, I'm not that smart, Kelly's not that smart, Rob's not that smart at certain things, and they can sort of decipher things a little bit different. We're looking at things one way, but they bring a different perspective and view of our business and our numbers, and really it's great having them there. So day one was very high level. Akin, Kathleen, it was about the numbers, it was about the traffic, it was about really, the nuts and bolts, high level stuff. Dave, we ran out of time, and so Dave, who handles like our production and our warehouse and logistics and making sure that our products end up in your or on your handsome face in a timely manner and we don't run out. He's kind of like the manager of that. He had to get pushed to the beginning of the second day, and so we met with him, and everything is looking good, which brings me to a big exciting update. All right, so this bad boy is a little travel Tiege Hanley like DOP kit. Got the hook, it's waterproof, which is amazing. This is basically like an essential bag, right? You can keep your Tiege, you can keep your cologne, you can keep your travel stuff. It's almost like a little DOP kit for when you're traveling. And these are going to be available and coming to okay, so here's the deal. If you are a current member of Tiege Hanley and you are, getting your boxes on a monthly basis, stay tuned. Now is not the time to leave us, because we're going to be having and sending you some incredible things very soon, including a lot of you are going to actually receive this really cool travel DOP kit by Tiege Hanley. Something else that you're going to also be able to do starting this month. Finally, this month, you realize how long we have been waiting to tell you that there are two new products that are going to be on our website available for you guys to add to your monthly box this month. We think, like, worst case scenario, the 18th of November is when our lip balm, which is amazing, and our exfoliating body bar, daily scrub bar, I forget what we're calling it, sorry, the soap is going to actually be available. Both of them are amazing. Our lip balm finally passed stability, and so boom, into manufacturing. The soap is incredible. You guys are going to freaking love it. The scent is incredible. It leaves I can't even talk, I'm so excited. Maybe it's the Dayquil. It leaves your skin super silky soft and exfoliates gently. It is an incredible product that you guys are absolutely going to love. Gentlemen, this month, it's happening. This soon, like real soon, like on its way, like almost. Soon. Day one to the meeting was great. We really sort of dove into the numbers and looked at things. And Tiege Hanley as a whole, as a company, is strong. We are very strong. We could be stronger, and that's what we're working towards in terms of acquisition, but our retention numbers, what we sort of set out to test last quarter was, if we remove discounting, how does that really affect our business? How does it affect the bottom line? And so we've been 3 months in now, and we're not ready to give discounting back because we see some positive traction in certain areas. But until we really get a handle on, sort of some of the programs that we're getting ready to roll out, including like LIP Kit and some of these additional products that we're going to be basically just giving our members, we really need to see how that impacts our business in terms of retention. And so, work in progress. I mean, with any business, you've got to pull levers, you've got to test things and figure out what works and what doesn't. But the only way you can truly understand what does what and what affects what is to understand the numbers and the data. And that is something that Tiege Hanley has done a super shitty job at from the beginning. And one of the gentlemen that was at the meeting, his name is Brian. And Brian is a long-term friend of Kelly's. And he is one of the smartest guys, has sold a few businesses. He just gets it. He has a very, very sharp, when he looks at things, he'll bring things up. I'm like, how did you even get to that? But oh my God, you're right, sort of things. He has been on Tiege Hanley from day one pretty much about, you got to know the numbers. You got to know the data. It's all about the data. And so he was frustrated because we weren't moving fast enough with some of the data needs that we had. And so he has been coming in to Tiege Hanley and actually building, right? He's that type of smart, building us a data sort of warehouse so that when we get a customer, we know like all of the details, all of the nuts and bolts, how much it costs to get him, where he goes in his journey basically. And so we can really understand sort of the cost and the profits and sort of everything. Like, this is incredibly valuable. It's incredibly important and something that we really have done a bad job on. But better late than never. And it's exciting because we are so close. By next quarter, by the next meeting, we're going to basically be able to really understand if we spend X dollar, what it means to us, and if we get a customer, what it really means. And at that point, you really can start to sort of look at things more intelligently, because right now we're throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall, trying and testing, and we think we know this, but then we get proven that we don't. And so it's frustrating, but it's growing pains, right? When everything is amazing and you're just growing like this, you're like, whatever, woohoo, like popping bottles. But at some point, the train kind of comes to a crossroads, and you've got a train. Do trains come to crossroads? You get what I'm saying? You've got to pick a direction, and you pick one and you test it, but sometimes you got to jump to the other track because it's not right. And that's kind of what we're in the process of doing. But these bad boys are awesome. The new products you guys are going to love. This month, I can't believe it's taken this long, to be honest, but we're finally here. Now, speaking of finally, let's get to some of your incredible business questions. I would also just real quick like to mention that being sick and getting sick as an entrepreneur really is inconvenient. It's not that I have to stay in bed type of sick, but it's just like it wears me down. And Dayquil, I'd like to give you an official Alpha M knuckle bump for keeping the train rolling, because even when you're sick as an entrepreneur, you gotta make the donuts, I always say. Anyway, our friend Koi N says, say I run a blog and a YouTube channel and have been building an audience over the past few years. And now I'm at a point where I want to launch a product. Ooh, this is an exciting point, my friend. Would you recommend to go the Shopify route on a separate domain, or integrate the shop via a WordPress plugin with WooCommerce directly through my blog? I've researched and there seems to be pros and cons for both, but I wanted to get your take. Thanks for your time. Great work. Shopify. Yes, Shopify. 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 Shopify is, in my opinion, one of the great, if I don't know a better one, to be honest. Shopify is awesome. They are super user-friendly, it's affordable, and they are, for all intents purposes, pretty bulletproof. They have worked a lot of the bugs out of sort of the things that I had to deal with, or Tiege Hanley had to deal with early on with Shopify. Now, I used to use WooCommerce, and WooCommerce, not amazing. That was really the best solution for integrating a shop into like a WordPress website. But Shopify, man, I'm telling you, once you go there, it's really hard to even think about something else. I also used to use Magento. Magento was what I built IamAlphaM.com, where I had a bunch of products, talk about confusing. Magento was like super robust and allows for like ultimate customization, but it's a different animal that you don't even want to touch. In my opinion, I would go Shopify all day, every day. That's what Pete and Pedro, that's what Tiege Hanley, it's what Enemy, it's what Ollie, it's what everything I'll do now is on Shopify, because they really are great, and in my opinion, you really can't beat them. Shopify. I also should probably issue a little disclaimer. I, about 3 months ago, actually bought some Shopify stock. I believe in Shopify so much and really love where they're going. I love some of the things that they're going to be doing that I actually invested in them. So whether or not, am I biased? A little, but that's how much I believe in Shopify. I believe them as a company. I think that they are definitely some smart guys up in Canada doing some incredible things. Let me see, where is another business question? There we go. Says Gary Hernandez, self-defense and urban survival. What's up, Gary? I hope everything's going well with your business. Always love hearing from you. He says, Aaron, what do you really think about doing commercials for your business? Is it worth the money? It depends. So commercials in terms of standard, and I link like commercials in with like standard, old school like advertising, billboards, print ads, mailers, which actually mailers are making a huge comeback in the men's like grooming space. Mailers are something to look out for. I think Tiege Hanley is actually getting ready to test actually some mailers where we mail things super affordably, like a postcard, you know what I'm talking about? We're testing it. We're getting ready to test it. Anyway, commercials sort of fall in line with that. In my opinion, I don't have any experience with actually doing a commercial for local television. Now, on a national scale, if you're a small local business, it makes 0 sense to advertise, nationally, right? Because it's too broad. But the beautiful thing is that you can actually advertise your small business, and for your shop, Gary, the fact that you do, a service in a specific area, you can target your area through the local sort of channels and local stations. Like you've got your local Fox affiliate, your ABC, NBC, like you've got local channels that you have, and you have the ability to actually run fairly reasonable commercials. Now, the tricky thing is figuring out if you run it, what happens, right? In terms of your ROI. Because a lot of it is a branding play, but every like Saturday morning or, if you're up like late at night, you'll see some of these like more localized businesses. A lot of restaurants will do it. Attorneys are always doing it, like I'm the strong arm of the law, and exactly, hurt in a car wreck, don't call, those type of things. They're always doing it, and obviously it's effective for them. Now, is it effective for you and your school? I don't know. Is it worth trying? I would say if you've got the ability, yes, I'd say that's, I guess the other thing you got to consider is the demographic that is watching that specific show or audience. Does it fit with your specific demographic? That's something else to sort of ask the person selling the advertising for the studios. But I say research it and give it a shot. But here's the thing. Knowing that, you could do the same thing where you actually make a little commercial and you can target that as pre-roll on YouTube. And I guarantee that it's going to be a lot less expensive than the standard traditional like advertising route. Now that I'm sort of unpacking this and thinking about this a little bit, YouTube makes a lot of sense because you can also get very detailed and granular in terms of the target audience. And so think about this for a second. Now I'm starting to really get the juices are flowing, gentlemen. Even though I'm sick, I'm on. Whatever. Anyway, hang on. Better. All right. Think about this. You could target if you know your customer. I know my customer is, 18-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, whatever, young kids that do this or are interested in this. You can actually target in your area within like a 25 or 50 mile radius, people that are watching videos that are targeted or that are like you can target those customers. Like if you can identify what your customer looks like, you can target them, what they're watching, where they are. It's almost like you're now like, instead of shooting with like a shotgun that has like a lot of pellets, just blasting it. All right, now you're getting real targeted. And so you're only spending money if somebody is watching that video or whatever. But it could be a pre-roll on a video or a video out to the right. I mean, there are a lot of options. So I would say commercials, maybe. On YouTube, definitely. Better Call Saul. I'm thinking about Breaking Bad. Come on. I just actually rewatched Breaking Bad, and it still is good. It's actually, I think it's better the second time. Anyway, last business question comes from our friend Sam Anber. He says, business question, I have a product idea. How do I test it fast with minimal capital and bring it to the market if I don't have an audience? I would assume that influencers with big followings don't need my little money for promotional content. How can I get over this obstacle? In other words, I don't want to be stuck with a product without figuring out a marketing channel, which in this case is the influencer. I'm almost losing sleep over starting this business. So this is a great question, Sam. I think you're in a very familiar or similar situation as a lot of people. You have an idea for a business, but you know that the audience is probably going to be influencers or people on social media. Now, without knowing exactly what that product is, it's hard for me to sort of tell you like a good idea on how you could maybe market that or test the idea cheaply. One thing you could do is create a website, right? Not like anything amazing. You could have a real basic website that sort of talks about the product, say coming soon, and then have an email capture, right? Where it's like, hey, launching, X number of days or whatever, months or whatever. And then just have an email capture. Sign up to be notified when we launch or whatever it may be. And so you create that, and you can do that fairly inexpensively, like very inexpensively. And advertise that ad on Facebook or on Google and drive traffic to that landing page and see how many people sign up. See how many people click on that ad. And that'll tell you if your idea or your product or whatever the business is viable. That's probably one of the least expensive ways, or I should say that's one of the smartest ways to sort of test the market. Because once again, on advertising with Facebook and YouTube or Google, even like AdWords out to the side, like you can test things. And so if nobody clicks on your ad, you're not spending any money. So that's pretty cool. Also, is there some micro influencer? Are there influencers in your area or in your space that you think have an audience that would be interested in your product? Reaching out to them and saying, hey, I've got an idea. Here's another brainstorm. Come to think of it, that's kind of what Tiege Hanley did. When Rob and Kelly contacted me, they had like this idea for this business, right? It was selling other people's products in a box. It was like and it was a bad idea. They reached out to me, hey, we want you to promote our product. And I was like, hey, wait a second. This is not the greatest product in the world or not the greatest idea. But if we did this and you partnered with me, then let's do this. And instead of you paying me for advertising, you make me one of your partners. And that's what I bring to the table. So maybe that could be a potential outlet for you. You find an influencer that you think is going to be effective for you, and then you talk to them about, hey, this is the business, this is what I'm thinking. Would you be interested in partnering with me if I put up the capital in order to build the business and the brand, and you, as the influencer, you're going to then be responsible for promoting it, and you lay out sort of a promotional schedule. That might be another way for you to actually test the market. Also, get somebody on your staff or your team that can handle some of the marketing equation. Now, the truth is that this one person isn't going to be the only marketing or money that you need to spend on advertising, but it's a start. And if you can't get anybody interested about your business, this might tell you something as well. And so I guess this is actually the less expensive way, or the least expensive way to sort of test it out and see about things. If it can work for Tiege Hanley, it can work for you. Did you know that? That there was a business before that kind of didn't work, sold like one or two, and then they came to me and I was like, come on, let's do this. This is how we're gonna do it. We did it, and we're still doing it. We're still trying to figure it out. Anyway, but influencers are definitely not the only answer and problem, or it's not the solution to everything though. The chance of you actually getting with somebody who's got a really large following that could really make a huge difference is tough, because as every day goes by, as every week and month, more and more, influencers are creating their own products or their own brand. But for a lot of these smaller influencers, they don't know. They don't have the capital in order to put it out there, in order to build a business. And so if you're a smart guy and you've got a great idea, maybe it'll resonate. And have them sign an NDA for the record. You don't want to give away your great idea without having a little bit of protection. Gentlemen, that is where I'm going to wrap it up. If you dug this vlog, drop me one of these. Also, if you've got a business-related question, down in the comments, start it with business question, nice and bold, and then ask your question. It doesn't have to be skincare. It can be anything. That's the beautiful thing about this vlog. It's about you, helping you achieve your entrepreneurial dreams. But speaking of dreams, gentlemen, it has been a dream that we develop new products and actually launch them. And that dream is coming closer to reality. Fruition. That is the word I was looking for. It is coming closer to fruition, which is freaking awesome. You guys are going to love it. The products are amazing. And seriously, it took so long. Oh my God. Anyway, we love you more than what? Say it with me. Our double monkstrap shoes. See you next week.